Welcome back to the second modules of Business Ethics and Corporate Governance. In this particular lecture, we are going to focus on the issues and complexities that is there in business. Now, if we take in totality, there are major issues related with environment ethics, marketing ethics, human resource ethics, which are to be taken into account in the current lecture. We start with the environmental ethics. So we all should be very much aware that environment is the place which is surrounded us, which is playing a very important role for the sustainability of not only the present life but also the future generation. So where there are number of issues which needs to be taken into account when it comes to environmental ethics. Pollution has made human being what is called as one of the main man-made factor such as poverty growth, deforestation, agriculture development, industrial development, urbanization, modern produced technology. Environmental pollution is a term that refers to all the ways in which people pollute the environment. Pollution, which is caused due to heavy industrialization. Development is said to be the buzzword, but along with development, there is a lot of pollution which is coming and affecting the human race. Now, what are environmental ethics? Ethics is something which keeps you telling that this is the right way of doing it and ensures that you are following that. But when it comes to environmental ethics, it's basically creating a moral sense of environmental conservation in each person, and that is known as environmental ethics. In environmental ethics, there's an ethical relationship between the humans and the environment because it's a relationship of human beings and also the values and moral status of the environment and its non-human content. Environmental ethics is a philosophical discipline that considers the moral and ethical relationship of human beings to their environment. Human values becomes the factor where when looking at the environmental ethics because they are the things that are important to an individual that they can use, evaluate events or actions. Corporate environmental responsibility is about managing the use natural resources in the most effective and efficient manner. Then what is environmental ethics? In simple terms, things like water and air pollutions, the depletion of natural resources, loss of biodiversity, destruction of ecosystem, and global climate change are all part of environmental ethics. Now, this debate on environmental ethics basically impacts our ability to solve the environmental problem because individuals have their own viewpoints that may be different. Environmental ethics is an important part of environmental studies and it establishes the relationship between the earth and the humans. Now, the next thing which is into account is ethical issues which are related with human resource management, the workforce, the human capital. What are the characteristics of ethics? The first thing is to understand this thing. It involves a sound leadership, which is having a very strong value system. Integrity should be the part of the personality. Respect, loyalty, and concern towards everyone, towards every stakeholder should be of prime impetus. What are the issues areas which lies in the human resource management? It can be related with the employee responsibility, cash and compensation plans, performance appraisals, and privacy issues which are related with people working in an organization. Race, disability, safety and health, employment issues, and restructuring and layoff are some of the most common issues that have been playing a very dominant role when it comes to handling human resource management or human capital. Areas of HR ethics is basically cash and compensation, the type of appraisals, the type of remuneration each employee is getting. Performance appraisals, very, very important for motivating and inculcating good values for further development. Race and disability has to be taken into prime focus because you are basically heading a diverse workforce. Safety and health issues at workplace, privacy issues, employment issues, and employee responsibility towards the organization is very, very important. Human resource management deals with manpower planning and development related to activities in the organization. Ethics in HRM basically deals with the affirmation, moral obligation of the employers towards employee to maintain equality and equity justice. What is the role of a sound HR policy? Now, the first thing is to understand what is an HR policy. The policies, the code of conduct, and the program which are specifically made for understanding and ensuring a compliance from the human capital is what is regarded as HR policy. And the importance of the HR policy cannot be overstated because they are critical for the sustaining a viable business for giving employees the guidelines they need to feel confident that they are working for a purposeful, principled organization. Protection against legal liabilities, like for example, HR policies related to minimum wage and overtime, provided your company's strict adherence to them, can demonstrate that your company pays employees wages in accordance with applicable laws. Employee satisfaction and confidence. Remember, a satisfied employee is a happy employee, and a happy employee is a happy, productive workforce. So, a human asset. Everyone wants to have a human asset rather than carrying liabilities in the organization. Supporting the strategic decisions. A satisfied workforce will always be there behind you in all your strategic intent because they are being taken care by the organization in a well planned and determined manner. What are the business regulations and principles of ethics will definitely play an important role because the employment relationship typically begins with the HR sponsored oriented policies which provides information about the company's history, mission and values, code of ethics, and business principle. The ethical training that HR develops is essential for employees to build and sustain customer relationship. Without HR guidance on business ethics, your company reputation could be damaged or even broken. The next is important area to be focused is the issue or the area of marketing. Marketing ethics is an area of applied ethics which deals with the moral principles behind the operation and regulation of marketing. Some areas of marketing ethics basically overlap with media and public relation ethics. Now, when it comes to marketing ethics, there's a conflict and lack of agreement on particular issues, and each marketing concept has its own ethical issues. Ethical marketing is less marketing strategy and more of a moral philosophy that informs of marketing ethics. It seeks to promote honesty, fairness, and responsibility in all the advertising which you are doing for your product. Customers do not want to feel manipulated by the brands like they like. Companies can use ethical marketing as a way to develop a sense of trust among their customers. If a product lives up to the claims made by the advertising, it reflects positivity of the entire company. Issues in marketing ethics. Now, this table gives you a clear indication that what are the marketing issues and how these things can be taken care of, like market relations, that is competition, fair competition, and you cannot demean or defame a product. You have to be basically more focused on your product. Advertising, it should be maintaining the trust and sincerity, and it should not be stereotype. Selling practices should not be bluffing and manipulation. Pricing should be fair prices and a good product. Targeting, exploitation is and respect has to be taken care of. You cannot exploit. You have to respect the people. Product policy, safety and content, market research, which plays a very, very important role. And here you have to draw the lines in the issue areas of privacy and personal information. And regulation, definitely an autonomy and regulation has to be taken care of so that you are trying to avoid all types of marketing issues which may arise, a lot of problems pertaining to marketing. Principles of marketing ethics. All marketing communications share the common standard of truth. Marketing professionals abide by the highest standards of personal ethics. Advertising is clearly disguised or distinguished from news and entertainment content. Consumers should be treated fairly based on the nature of the product and the nature of consumer. The privacy of the consumer should not be compromised. Market must comply with the regulation and standards established by government and professional organization, and ethics should be discussed openly and honestly during the marketing decisions. Why is marketing ethics important? Because it brings customer loyalty, good employees, positive work environment, avoidance of legal problems, goodwill and privacy, publicity, financial advantages, competitive advantage, and moral obligations from the side of the business. So these are some of the questions which will be answered with the slides which have been given previously. So keep on learning till we meet the next time. Thank you.